welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stels. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, oh, I think I took the wrong turn. Okay, let me get off from here. Okay, so guys, it's been a while you've seen me, and it's not like intentional. Nah, business I busy, I know kill person. But thank you to all that has checked up on me. A lot of people reached out to me. I'm like, Stella, where have you been? We miss your videos. Your girl day. Let me just give you some updates on. Okay, I'll do a proper sit down video. You know, providing an update on why I was away, and the reasons. And the reasons I had to leave YouTube for a while. You know, but today the gist is about driving. I don't know if I'm actually cut out for this driving thing. I don't know. I just want to rant. Prior to coming to Canada, I rushed and said, okay, let me enroll again in the driving school in Nigeria. So that was for me to just get my driver's license, and when I come here, I'll perfect the Canada driving. So 1 year after in Canada, I'm like, okay, let's start this driving thing. I've already done my G1. I did that I think less than 3 months of arriving in Canada. So 1 year in Canada now. I wanted to start last year, but I didn't want to start learning in winter. You know, my friend was like, it's better you learn in winter so that your hand can be strong. I was like, let me learn the normal learning. Winter takes like an extra skill. Some people don't even drive their cars in winter, you know. So I'm like, let me learn when, you know, people are on the road, so I can be, you know, used to driving that. Then when I'm probably buy a car within that period, then when winter comes, right? So I've had enough time to practice and strong with driving before winter comes. So around March, I believe, yes, I said, okay, let me start learning how to drive. And I got the contact of a guy. We see praises. I should have done more research, because the people that were praising him were driving before, right? And they just came to Canada. So I picked up, you know, his phone number, called him that, oh, I'm interested in learning how to drive. And he was like, oh, beautiful, that he would. I even liked the perks of him coming to pick me at the house, then, you know, taking me to drive, then bringing me back to the house. You know, as a lazy girl thing now, it was sweeting me. So the first day came, I paid for 2 hours. 1 hour is $40, so 2 hours is $80. And he was like, oh, that okay, but subsequently we'll be doing 1 hour, you know. I said, okay, no problem. So that's how we started to drive the thing. Okay, no, he drove to the location and we switched here. So I explained to him that I haven't driven before. So prior to that day, I'd already watched a YouTube video on how to move the lever, the park. How am I calling it lever? The gear, you know, when you want to park, when you want to drive, neutral, reverse, all of that. So it was something that I had to just look at to be familiar before actually trying to drive. So now, the man started teaching me, because we were going around the streets. We hadn't hit the road that first day. And this was in March. So he was, you know, we were in streets and he was trying to make me perfect my turn. He realized that I was extra stiff on the wheels. So he was like, I have to release my hands from the wheels, that I am holding it too tight, because most times he's trying to also help me navigate when when I miss my way, but I'm holding it too tight.
Northbound train to Conestoga.
Guy, let me talk now. You know, so he was like, I'm holding it too tight. And I told him that, please, you have to exercise patience with me, because the vehicle I used while I was in Nigeria, the wheel was, I had to hold it very stiff. As in, I had to hold it very tight. That was where I was taught. This guy no understand me. He was like, he's Indian, first of all. So he was like, you're holding the wheels too tight. Why are you acting like a slave? When he said that thing to me, I had already lost it. And this was after 1 hour. This was like the second hour. I had already lost it. I was like, okay, if it is your fellow Indian brother, I didn't tell him this too. I was like, if it's your fellow Indian brother that is holding the wheel too tight, will you address him like that? You know? But I was like, I didn't want to mess up the relationship that I have with the person that gave me his number, because I introduced myself like, I'm calling for, you know, this person gave me your number. So I just kept quiet. I was like, okay, let me just let this one fly. Because that word was very uncalled for. You can just say, oh, why are you holding this too tight? But I had already explained to him why. But he was like, why are you holding it too tight like a slave? Why are you acting like a slave? Try and learn. Oof. 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 I felt hurt that the second hour was just messed up because I wasn't concentrating again. I was now trying to please him, and yeah, it wasn't, the second hour was just a waste of time. I should have just done 1 hour. So after that march, I wasn't really interested again, and coincidentally it started snowing. So I sent him a message. I was like, okay, I would pick up the lesson after the snow goes, after, because I don't want to learn in the snow, snow falling, and I would be disorganized. So I told him that I'll pick up the learning again after the snow ends. So now in April, I'm like, okay, let me pick up this thing again. So I reached out to him during the week. I just concluded it today. That's why I'm giving this story, and I'll never use him again. Never.
Train to.
So today now, I don't want to sound like I did complain. I was like, okay, let me just give it another attempt. So today he came to the house. And it's $40 every hour. Do I even earn $40 every hour? So he came to the house, and I started. He drove to the location. I drove. I checked my blind spots. I remember those key things he mentioned the first time. Check your blind spots. Make sure your legs are on the brake. Change your put down your handbrake. Move the gear to drive. I remembered all of those. So I was like, oh, you remember? I said yes. So I did all of that. Checked my blind spots and started moving the car. Now, the problem I'm having, is my foot. Now I'm feeling the pressure of my foot against the accelerator, but it's not, the speed is not increasing to what he wants it to be. He said I'm supposed to be driving at 40 within the streets. Now I'm matching the accelerator, but it's still like 30, 35, So I'm explaining to him that I think it's because I'm just picking up again, but I'm actually putting pressure on it to increase. So he was like, you're doing what you want to do. You don't want to listen to me. Why are you so stubborn? Like Shomode, where I'm not a child. Like, why are you're not teaching me for free? I'm actually paying you, right? So he was not like, you're not listening to me, you're doing what you're supposed to, you're not listening to me so that I can teach you what you're supposed to do. You're just being stubborn. And I said, sorry, what did you say? Because I felt confused. I was like, sorry, what did you say? He was like, you're acting like a kid that just putting everything in their mouth without getting direction. I got upset, but I was like, no, let me continue 45 minutes, because it's actually not 1 hour, it's 45 minutes. Like, let me finish 45 minutes first. If this guy misbehaves, I will tell him what is in my mind. So we kept on driving, and he told me that when you get to a bend, change the wheel to 3/4 so that it can turn. But he didn't tell me that it depends on the bend. There's some bends that you don't have to turn 3/4, you just have to turn like half a quarter or something like that.
Starts Monday, April 22nd. Visit grt.ca.
So he did tell me that it's not for all the bends. So we got a particular bend that was not so narrow, and I turned 3/4. He was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You're so stubborn. I'm like, hey, God, oh, hey. Which kind of wahala did I would say, why do you so stubborn? Anyways, I'm gonna take all your money because you're gonna need more lessons. You're not listening to me. I'm like, sorry, what did I do wrong? He said that I was not supposed to do 3/4. I was like, but you didn't tell me that. You told me at the beginning of the lesson, when you get to a bend, do 3/4. So now that you're telling me this, I've learned from that. So I was now more nervous because I was listening to him. I was trying to navigate my feet. I was trying to look at the road. When you're about to get to a stop, he said, gradually press on the brakes before you get to the white line. Then you look, right? So I was gradually pressing on the brakes. Then when we got to the stop, I was now looking to see if there's an oncoming vehicle. If you see the way he shouted, he was like, God damn it. Why are you bending your neck to look at the road when you've not fully pressed the stop? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? I felt so terrorized. I felt so terrorized, like I had upset somebody, or, I was like, but I'm trying to do what you asked me to do now. It was like, listen. If you don't listen, you will not learn. Why don't you want to learn? You're so stubborn. He called me stubborn like 4 times today. Guys, I don't know if it was the nervousness in me or something. Then he now took me to the highway. I told him that, like, please, can we still continue here? Like, no, we're going to the highway. So we got to the highway, and obviously the problem I had again was with the speed. He was like, step on it, step on it. I was stepping on it. I was supposed to drive 50 to 60. I was stepping on it, but it was going between 40 45. And when he asked me to, with the pressure of step on it, on my zoom go more than 60, I was going towards 70. He was like, God damn it! Oh my God, I was angry, but it was funny at the same time. You know, so I just told him that. So what I intend to do is just to go to a driving school here. Like, I would spend that money. I think it's close to $600. I don't care. I would spend that money because I cannot face that terror again. I cannot do that. The way I have suffered today, legit, like running for buses. I know I look pink, I look fly, I know that, guys. Welcome back to my channel if this is your first time tuning in. My name is Stels. I'm a Nigerian immigrant in Canada, and I've been hustling for a bus. So I almost missed this bus because I was trying to locate where the bus stop is. So I'm actually waiting for a bus because I'm attending the newcomers event for Nigerians living in the region of Waterloo. I joined the association as an executive. Let me do the easy things, and I'm currently their financial secretary. But I've been stressed. I don't know how long I can keep up, but I'll try my best. I don't know how long I'm going to do it for, but I just need the experience, the exposure, and yeah, I'm doing it. So guys, I'm waiting for the bus, and it should be here in the next 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. And today I'm panting. Yeah, the hustle is real. Like, waiting for bus, running for bus is crazy. Just panting. And Nigerian just walked past me and she was smiling. Let me show you her.
Because that is showing us whether they're being able to transfer what the concept is in different ways. Learning resources. These are on
So it was very, very much packed. I learned a lot. Now I'm heading home. Yes, I'm trying to know where the road is. So guys, thank you so much for staying with me today. What next am I going to do? Okay, I want to head to, since I'm carrying jollof, like person we just go Gbomuya. So I have my cross bag here. I want to go to the driving school. It's just after 2. The program is supposed to end by 4, but I'm like, let me carry my rice and go. So I met a friend. Guys, I should have taken a picture with her. Hi, Tommy, if you're watching this. When I started my entry program, the entry level program into Guarantee Trust Bank, she was one of the facilitators of that training school. I was so shocked when I saw her. Although she did send me a message one time that she got admission into the university here in Canada and she'll be coming, but I didn't know she was already here. And I just met her at this newcomers orientation and we just chatted. We exchanged numbers and we definitely will be talking. So it was so fun to see a familiar face. Like, I know all the executives in Nairo, not all. I know a lot of people. Then I also met people from my church, newcomers, people from my office. Like, you know, everybody see me in your executive role. Like, you know, I was helping out with organizing the program, helping out with the food, helping out with pictures, videos. So I was, you know, very handy. You know, I really like to do these things. Nobody's paying me, guys. This volunteer work now free. It's not being paid for, but it gives you a sense of fulfillment when people are getting the right information. Like, I remember when I came in and I enrolled for the dental benefits, the people I was, you know, staying with did not even know about it, and I was newer and I was newer than them, so I shared that information with them. You know, so information is power in Canada, guys. Nigerian lady, I'm at the bus stop now, so I'm just waiting. I met a Nigerian lady who happens to work with the Canadian school board. See, Nigerians are making it here, to be honest. I also met a Nigerian guy who is a superintendent. Like, it shocked me. His name is Tosin. Like, hey, I have one full plate of jollof. Like, you can't go wrong with Nigeria jollof, can you ever? So the program went well. It was nice. So guys, this is where I want to learn the driving thing. Canada Safe Drivers. Let's go. Second floor, unit 5. Okay, let's go. Suite 5. I guess it's here then. So I'm here and no one's here. So I'm here and no one is here because she has taken someone to go and do a test drive. And yeah, I just called. There's a number here on the door. I called the number and she mentioned that I could do the one that would have in class and the road driving one, which is $680. $680, 10 hours on the road and 4 classes. I can have 2 weekends, Saturday, Sunday again, and I can have 10 hours of practice for driving. Then also she mentioned that if I want to use their vehicle, that's everything costs $680. Then if I also want to use their vehicle to go and do my G2 driving test, I would pay $150 and they would give me 1 hour training before the G2, which is not a bad deal actually. So that she said I should do, and the class starts next week Saturday. So I'm gonna start my training next week Saturday, and I have to cough out $680 to do that. And I've already spent $120 with that Ishaki that I was learning with. If you haven't watched the rant about the previous driving instructor I had, please go and watch that rant. I was so furious. He is the worst driving instructor ever. So hopefully this one works for me. So I prefer a lady actually, because I think she's the one that will be taking people for the test drive and the in-car training. So yeah, I'm done here. Time to go home. Let me see if I can catch a bus or no. I will just work because it's just a stone throw to my house. Thank you so much for tuning in today with me and walking up and down. See me looking like a beggar with food, looking like a stray.